Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, the one and only hosting Cruz, bringing you another exciting edition of boxing. Don't forget to hit and to like, subscribe to my channel. It's always greatly appreciated. Stay tuned. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Cruz, and guys, I am here to talk about one of the greatest rounds in the history of boxing in this edition of Throwback Tuesday, and we're throwing it all the way back May 7th, 2005. In the tremendous, great, unified championship fight between Diego Chico Corrales versus Jose Luis Castillo. Both guys coming in as champions. This was a unification between two of the very best lightweights at the time. Chico with a 40 wins, 2 losses, 33 knockout record. Castillo coming in with 52 wins, 6 losses, and 1 draw, 45 knockouts. Chico has been a feared featherweight at 130, tall, rangy, punching power warrior, and has made a mark coming in at 135 for some time. Same problem: punching power, height, range, warrior, and Castillo, tough Mexican fighter, and in his prime is regarded as one of the best lightweights in the sport. So you get all that combined into one fight. What else can you expect? A really good fight, right? Well, we got that and more. As a matter of fact, it was more than a good fight. It was more than a great fight. It was the greatest fight in the history of the sport by many and experts. Arguably is the greatest fight in the history of the sport. In my opinion, Gatti Ward 1 is my favorite fight in the history of the sport. That round 9 of their fight is crazy. So, in terms of level of greatest fights in the history of the sport, Castillo Corrales is for sure there, even with Gatti Ward, in my opinion. Now, I won't argue if you want to take it up a notch and say just a little bite, and just say Corrales Castillo is a bit better. I won't argue with it, because Corrales Castillo had brutal toe-to-toe action, drop, knockdowns. You got one fighter doing whatever it takes to win, taking out the mouthpiece as much as he can to get a breather, to then show the world a comeback of the year type of performance in that same round. Now, I spoke of 9th round in Gatti Ward 1 in what was the round of the year in that year, and possibly the greatest round in the history of boxing. Corrales Castillo round 10 is probably one of the greatest rounds in the history of the sport, maybe the greatest round ever as well. So if you want to vote and pick which round was better, Corrales Castillo 1 round 10 or Gatti Ward 1 round 9, both rounds are hard to pick because both rounds had special, legendary, brutal moments. Now, I'm going to show you guys a clip here of Corrales Castillo legendary round 10. You got both guys getting ready to come out for the 10th round. In a round that we were not expecting to see in terms of what we got. In terms of action, these two guys coming out, throwing jabs. Corrales pulling that jab out, sticking it out. Big left hook, down goes Chico Corrales. Here comes Tony Weeks, tremendous veteran referee, looking at Chico, giving him the count. He's up at 7. Telling Chico to come to me. Time. Because he's noticed the mouthpiece of Chico was out. Chico spit out the mouthpiece. Here comes Joe Guzan, giving him the mouthpiece. Probably telling him to keep your hands up. Big left hook by Castillo. Castillo jumping in with a jab. Big left hook. Another swing and a miss by Chico. Down goes Chico off a right hand left hook combo. Now Chico is all busted up, man. He's tired, mentally exhausted right here at this point. But he's a warrior. He gets up. He's telling Tony Weeks he's okay. Tony Weeks is penalizing a point. Telling all the judges 1 point off, 1 point off. Because the second time Chico did it, has spit out the mouthpiece, so he deserved that point deduction. But Chico Has been down in a fight before, and usually it's over. He's not had one of the best in the history of the sport. He has one of the worst chins, and usually in his fights when he's down like that and hurt, he's not coming back from it. But in this fight was different. He spit out the mouthpiece, so it was a smart tactic by Chico. Both guys throwing hard leather, savage exchange. Big left hook by Chico. Right hand. Castillo backing up. Castillo, the word that he is, throwing the right hand miss. Left hook, right hand, duck. Left hook, right hand by Castillo. Jab, right hand to the body. Castillo, Chico misses with that left hook. Right uppercut, right cross by Corrales. Another left hook by Corrales. Another left hook. Right hand, right cross miss. The fans are telling Chico to come for a right hand. Left hook, right hand, left hook, right hand, down. Here comes Tony Weeks to stop the fight. Now let me tell you, when Corrales was unloading those shots on Castillo, after thinking that Corrales was done in that same round, and Castillo's head was just snapping back and forth and Tony Weeks jumping in to save his life, I was like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. Not in terms of a bad stoppage, but what a turnaround by Castillo to getting dropped a couple times, looking like he was out of it. He was not going to come back from it. Especially if you know Chico Corrales of not having the best chin and being down and hurt and usually not coming back from that. It was astonishing. An incredible performance, an incredible feat, an incredible amount of heart, will, courage to get up off the deck twice, using this tactic of spitting out the mouthpiece, doing whatever it takes to win. The perfect definition of doing whatever it takes to win. And Chico did that on that night. And it worked to produce a comeback of the year type of performance as well in that round. So it is forever a classic fight. One of the greatest fights in the history of sport. Arguably the greatest fight in the history of sport. Diego Corrales versus Jose Luis Castillo is forever etched in boxing history as a classic in the lightweight division, a classic in the history of boxing, in the history of the sport. Let me know what you guys think about this classic fight, man. I mean, over the years, this fight has been played over and over and over, and it's just a fight that you can't get enough of. You'll never get tired of it. It's like Gatti Ward 1. I never get tired of that fight. That's my favorite fight in boxing. Corrales Castillo 1 is a lot of people's favorite fight in boxing. So, Corrales Castillo 1 is my second favorite fight in boxing. To a lot is their first. Is their number one. But hey, can't argue with you. It's a classic. It's a great fight nonetheless. And it's just legendary stuff. You don't see that often. You know, we've been having great, after that fight, we've been having great fights over the years, but Corrales Castillo, man, that's in his own league. Of course, we as boxing fans are hoping and praying that we get another type of classic fight like that one day. But we'll see. But just wanted to come out here and sit down and talk to you guys about this tremendous classic fight. May 7th, 2005. Unification at the Mandalay Bay on the Showtime main event. And the next thing about this fight, this crowd, it didn't have the biggest crowd. If you look around in the Mandalay Bay in that fight, there was a lot of empty seats. But whoever went there live, whatever fans were in there live, man, we're the luckiest. Because they witnessed arguably the greatest fight in the history of sport. Miracle with Boxing, guys. I'm your host, Wilson Cruz. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, guys. It is always a pleasure to talk to you guys about boxing. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.